Hello everyone, today we will study the second section of Chapter 1. As we have mentioned, during several thousands of years, TCM has made great contributions to the promotion of health, the proliferation and prosperity of Chinese nation, and the enrichment and development of world medicine as well. We have getting to know about the history and development of TCM. Just as we talked about the TCM evolved into a unique, integral system of medicine theory through long clinical practice. And TCM is an important part of Chinese culture. Therefore, TCM has its specific characteristics which we are going to study for today. The basic characteristics of TCM. The formation of the theoretical system of TCM was greatly influenced by ancient Chinese materialism and dialectics. The theoretical system takes the physiology and pathology of some organs and meridians as its basis, and TDS as its diagnostic and therapeutic features. TDS is one of the two basic characteristics. It means treatment by differentiation of syndromes. The other one is a holistic concept. Let's start from the holistic concept. TCM has its own specific understanding both in the physiological functions and pathological changes of the human body and in the diagnosis and treatment of disease. TCM regards the human body itself as an organic whole interconnected by some organs, meridians, and collaterals. And TCM also holds that the human body is closely related with the outside world. The human body is composed of various organs and tissues, each having its own distinct functions, which is component part of the life activities of the whole body. There are 11 main organs inside our body, including 5 zang organs and 6 fu organs. The details about the organs we will study in the part of visceral manifestation. Except for the 11 organs, there are 12 large meridians along our body. The meridians are the major trunks and run longitudinally within the body, while the collaterals are the branches of the meridians and are distributed at the net over the whole body. Therefore, the meridians and collaterals make all the body's organs and tissues an organic whole by connecting the zang organs with the extremities, connecting the upper part with the lower part, and connecting the internal part with the external part of the body. So, the first aspect of holistic concept is that each part of the body, like zang organs, tissues, and orifices, is connected through the meridians and collaterals, forming a structural network. One side, TCM regards the human body itself as an organic whole interconnected by zang organs, meridians, and collaterals. On the other hand, TCM also holds that the human body is closely related to the outside world. Humans live in nature, and nature provides the indispensable conditions to human survival. The human body is bound to be affected directly or indirectly by the changes of the nature. The natural world constantly influences the body. The body adapts to conform to a variation in the natural and social environment. Humans need to take measures to adapt to nature. For example, when farmers plant crops, they need to plant the seeds in spring season. Then the crops can grow in summer season, and farmers can harvest their crops in autumn season and store their grains in winter season. This is a very good example that human beings obey the natural law to adapt their working in field. However, if someone plants seeds in winter, that would be a tragedy, I think. And the changes of the nature would affect our body. For example, our pulse condition always changes with the change of seasons. For most of people, the pulse may have a little tight in spring, a little surging in summer, floating in autumn and deep in winter. All the changes with seasons are physiological phenomena. Holism is the most basic guiding principle in the clinical practice of TCM. For example, 见根治病，知肝传脾，当先食脾. This sentence comes from 金匮要略, or which is called the Synopsis of the Golden Chamber, a classical book which was written by Zhang Zhongjing about 2,000 years ago. It refers that for a good doctor, when he knows the disorder of the liver, he should know the transmission of the liver to the spleen. Then the strategy of tonifying spleen should be considered. The author of 金匮要略 was the most famous ancient Chinese doctor. He reminded us to take the patient and the organic whole when we treating disease for the patient. TCM on one side is characterized by holism. On the other side is characterized by treatment by differentiation of syndrome. Differentiation means comprehensive analysis, while syndrome refers to symptoms and signs. So, differentiation of syndromes implies that the patient's symptoms and signs collected by the 4 diagnostic methods are analyzed and summarized so as to identify the etiology, nature, and location of a disease, and the relation between vital qi and pathogens, thereby determine what syndrome the disease belongs to. After the analyzing and diagnosing, the corresponding therapeutic method should be selected. The treatments such as herbs, acupuncture, scraping, cupping, etc. can be decided. The whole process is called TDS, treatment by differentiation of syndrome. Based on the principles of TDS, 2 unique therapeutic methods are broadly used in clinical practice. Different disease, same treatment, or same disease, different treatment. Specifically, same therapeutic method may be used to treat the different disease. However, different therapeutic methods may be used to treat the same disease. It sounds confused. Let me explain this. For example, patients having a cold may have symptoms like fever, aversion to cold, cough, headache, etc. However, the TCM diagnosis for the patients who have the same cold disease may be different, such as external wind syndrome, external heat syndrome, or external cold syndrome. Therefore, the patients with same disease would be treated in different ways. The reason for this is the principle of TDS, treatment by differentiation of syndromes. That means the treatment would be selected based on syndrome, not by disease. Other cases, there are some patients with different disease like cold, cough, or headache. They may have the same syndrome. For example, external cold syndrome. These patients would be treated in the same way, here still because the TDS principle. Briefly, we go through the 2 basic characteristics of TCM. One is holistic concept, the other is TDS, treatment by differentiation of syndromes. These 2 characteristics are very useful principles for the clinical practice. Okay, that's all for today. See you next class.